Hey everyone, I'm gonna wait for a few people to get here and just actually hope that some people are going to see this. That my channel isn't completely censored. I just did a little bit of sneaky detective work and caught someone red-handed. The only thing is I don't know exactly who. I know where I got these, but anyway, I I have some proof. I have some irrefutable proof that I want to go over with some people. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to get here. Well, there's one. Usually by this time, about 10, 15 people show up. Hey, one person that's here. How you doing? Um, I guess I'll just go ahead and start this. Okay, so you see my eyes? See this? This is not normal. All right, there's two people. It's young arc survivor. How you doing? I'm gonna go ahead and wait for a few more people to show up here. This is pretty important. Uh, if you guys follow my channel, if you listen to me talk about how I don't drink, I don't smoke cannabis anymore. I would smoke cannabis, but I can't afford it, and I don't want there to be any kind of issue. I'm not doing good at all right now. I'm livid, as a matter of fact. Um, I mean, I'm not surprised at what I just found out, but I'm really irritated. I'm really curious why there are only two people here right now, too. Most of the time when I start these live streams, by now there are 20, 30 people on here. There's three. Okay, so I use a jewel to vape to get some nicotine. I started smoking cigarettes in May or June of 2017 after I realized what was going on and my life came crashing down on me. When I realized that so many people in my life had been actors and been putting me through this psyop for a very long time, realizing that relationships weren't real relationships in a lot of cases, and that I had been targeted. Yeah. All right, now there are five people here. Hello, everyone. I'm just kind of waiting for some more people to show up until I kind of get into the ridiculous proof of what I just found out. Seven. Okay, some more people are showing up. That's good. There's eight. Um, all right, nine. Now I was on a live stream earlier. All right, there's 10. Okay, there's 10 people here. I'll go ahead and start. This is a pack of mint or cool mint, jewel, vaporizer pods. You put these in a little battery and you vape it and you get nicotine right here. It says 5% nicotine. Okay, so that's what's supposed to be in here. Mint, 4 pods. Ingredients: glycol, propylene glycol, flavor, nicotine, uh, benzoic acid. www.jewel.com. 2018 Jewel Labs. Okay, so show you that right there. 12 people here. All right, more people are starting to show up. Good. The alternative for adult smokers. So, as a lot of you know, I was set up for a crime, and I spent the last year and 8 months going through the court system trying to fight that, to get the exculpatory evidence that was being kept from me, to try to provide the video evidence, filing my own motions, trying to get attorneys to work with me, wasting $40,000 on an attorney that just completely gaslit me and threw me under the bus, and I ended up getting convicted of a felony about a month ago. These jewel pods that I have, that I buy, started having a different effect on me. I would hit the vape, and then within 5 to 10 minutes, my lips are completely dry. I've got cotton mouth, I'm jittery and anxious, nothing close to what nicotine is supposed to be doing. Right? And I would start going to different places to get those, and I would start to ask, hey, give me like the 5th one back, or give me the 7th one back, or whatever. And I would get a pack, and they would go to the normal nicotine effect. They would calm me down. When I would get stressed, get in a certain situation, I should be able to learn to just deal with that on my own without nicotine, but it's just something that helps. A lot of people turn to alcohol, to different drugs, to different whatever, to get them numb, basically, so they don't have to feel the pain of going through this, being a targeted individual, and going through this psychological operation and complete destruction of your life. So I've managed to quit alcohol. Quitting smoking cannabis is easy. That's not a big deal at all. It's non-addictive. That's not a big deal. The only thing that I put in my body that I should not is these right here. Now, as I was getting the dry mouth and getting the jittery things, I was starting to get these messages through social media, through my Twitter account, through my Facebook account, people buying items on my eBay, through my eBay store, and they kept referencing terms that are used for different drugs, talking about crystal and rock or whatever. Some people that were coming to my estate sale were getting on their phone, checking out their phone, and then they would say something about tweakers or whatever, which I've talked about before. That was a huge issue in Fresno, California. It's such a big issue that the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, came from Europe and did a documentary on the meth problem in Fresno. And it's clearly evident that there's a problem with that there. I wanted to take my family out of that. My son's mother, who's my first ex-wife, had an issue with that, opiates, and all kinds of different things. And she ended up dying on my son's birthday. I'm completely anti-methamphetamines, opiates. The only thing that I will allow to go in my body that's considered a drug is cannabis. And I have a prescription for that. From a doctor, have a prescription. Now, I've had a hard time quitting nicotine, and the people that are trying to infiltrate my life, that are infiltrating my life, that have ruined everything in my life, know this. And they have very sneaky, covert ways to get you to look like a bad person. So here's what I did. I was on a live stream today, and somebody mentioned something about how they were on probation and somebody slipped something in their vape, and they got drug tested, and they tested positive for methamphetamines and cocaine. And I thought, well, if they did it to them, they could do it to me. And if that person didn't actually go through that, and it was just somebody signaling to me to just tell me that's what happened, or they were trying to help me, like in a covert way, and say, hey, you should probably check this out. Regardless, I got the message, and I decided, okay, I need to do some real quick detective work here. I got online on Amazon and I ordered a substance drug kit, where one you don't pee in it. You put the substance the testing kit, and it tells you uh, what what drugs are in there. So I ordered that kit online, and I did this intentionally because I didn't think that um, I didn't think that I thought that if I ordered the kit online, I would buy the pack of jewels, and when I got and it would have whatever in it, and then when I got the kit, it would have been tampered with. So I got online, I bought this drug test kit, and then I made a beeline over to QT, the same QT where the incident started, the day that I was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a firearm, and ended up being convicted of disorderly conduct, felony class 6, after none of my evidence was looked at, and I was gaslit, and street theater was used on me in the court system. Okay. So I bought the drug kit online, went over to QT, I bought a pack of jewels. Here is, actually I went to 3 different QTs, but here is the receipt right here, 7/22, 2019, right? Now I just made a video about this earlier, made a static video, and I didn't do a live stream, I did a video and then uploaded it. On my way to go get the pack of jewels, what I did is I passed QT and quickly went over to CVS. And I made a beeline to the back of the store at CVS, and I found this drug test kit right here. First check, 14 drug test kit. Okay, and it tests for, well, all kinds of different things. I'll show you here. I bought this test kit because I had to sidetrack them thinking that the only test kit that I was going to buy was online, that they could tamper with. Bought that, drove over to QT like that's what I was going to do, started pulling in there, turned and went, bought this drug test kit so nobody had time to get to it and tamper with it or switch it out for one that wouldn't work. All right. I took the top of the jewel off, and I poured it out into this cup. This is a urine cup. Now when you pee into one of these, when you urinate into one of these cups, your urine is 90-something% water. Sorry, there's a mosquito flying around here. It's 90-something% water and just some protein and other things, drugs, if drugs are in your system, that will show a positive in a drug test kit. So what I did, I got this drug test kit, I filled it full of water, purified reverse osmosis water that I get from the water store over here, intentionally because I don't like to drink the water out of my tap. And then I took the top of the jewel off with some pliers and pulled the little rubber thing out and dumped that into this cup. Now, here are the instructions on how this thing works. I'm just going to show you this part, show you that part, and then I'm going to read it. Drug 1, row tests for THC, OPI, okay, it just has the abbreviations. Drug 2, test for blah, blah, blah. So each row on this, these different colors, tests for a different drug. 7 up here, 7 down here. These lines right here are the indicators underneath that drug to indicate which one it is testing positive or not testing positive. So this, with all of these completely full, let's see if I get it in line there. With these all the way completely full, that is a passing drug test. There we go, this is better. That is a passing drug test. All right, so here I'll just show you again this part right here. That is a passing drug test. You can pause this if you want to and read what this says. This is passing. Okay, right here. So the identifiers, see how this one is clear? There's no red line. That means that whatever drug that's in this row on the top, that would be what is being tested positive for. Okay? Whenever it's blank, that means it's testing positive. Here's another one. It shows, let's see, there we go. Example 3. I'll just read this. It says, example 3, there is no line appearing in the D2 region on the 6th test strip. Therefore, it is a preliminary positive for oxy test. All other tests are negative. So this is showing, this little green one right here is OxyContin, and that is clear. So that means that it tested positive for OxyContin because it's the one on the bottom. If the one in the middle was clear, it would be tested positive for whatever this is here in the orange. All right. Okay, so I think I've explained how that test works. I did this video. I opened this box on the video, showed that it had not been opened, had not been tampered with. I opened this without taking the camera off of it. I showed doing everything that I did, going through the whole process. Okay, now here is the test. Here are the test results. This one is clear. This one is clear. All of the other areas are red. Getting a reflection here. There we go, that's better. Okay, so you see that there are 2 areas on there that don't come up. That means it tested positive for 2 different things. Now those 2 different things that it tested positive for, straight out of the vape on video, are putting meth and PCP into people's vapes. No wonder I was getting jittery and dry mouth and having a hard time sleeping, and my eyes look like this. So that means, and I'm sure the nicotine is in there as well, but that means that I cannot touch any more of these vapes. I'm addicted to nicotine, so I'm going to have a hard time not vaping at all. I'm going to be in a bad mood. I have a lot of things to do. I have to make it through public with people messing with me all the time. And I'm going to be going through, I hope I don't go through withdrawals from whatever they've been putting in here. But I cannot believe that I could still act calm. Somebody's saying, please talk louder. I'm not going to yell. I'm talking perfectly fine. Turn your computer up. Turn your volume up. Okay, I haven't been buying it from I have not been buying these from a vape shop. Like I said, I have the receipt right here. There's two different stores that I went to, and all three of them were QT, Quick Trips, which they say that they're a Christian organization based out of Oklahoma. Now, I've talked about Oklahoma a lot. I'm not testing positive for anything. I tested these directly out of the box from here to here and got a positive test for methamphetamines and PCP. I did not test myself at all. This is directly from, yes, this is directly from the box. And if you go to my last video, go to my last video that I just uploaded, the one right before this. Excuse me. I did this seamlessly without taking anything off of the video. I took everything out of the package, showed that it had not been tampered with, showed the whole process. Go back and watch that video. And the same thing was happening. I went to a vape shop and I thought, you know what? I can get, I don't have to get these jewels. I'll go to this other vape shop and they have to pump the stuff out right in front of me. There's a whole bunch of different choices, and I can watch them put it in there. It would be fine the first day, and then I would leave this thing in my truck, or it would be next to me on my nightstand, and the next day it would have the same effect that these were having, that I was complaining about. So I don't know if somebody's getting into my house, how in the hell they're doing this. Now these packages, they're supposed to be packaged from Juul. I watched a documentary, and I cannot remember the lady's name, but she was, she had a show called Trafficked on Netflix, and there was a she did an episode on how these are faked and how they make generic packaging that looks exactly like the original packaging from pharmaceutical companies. So like, say there was a certain pill or certain drug that a person needed for their prescription, they would make the generic drug, but it wasn't generic, it was like baby powder or something that did absolutely nothing at all. Somebody's asking if I'm on probation. That's what I started out talking about on the video. Yes, I'm on probation, and right after I was convicted of the crime, that they would not give me exculpatory evidence, they would not give me, they would not go over my motions in court, where I showed the video of Russell Roberts pulling a gun on me and calling me a faggot, which is a hate crime, and then following me to my house after that happened, where my kids are sleeping, and then getting in his truck and pulling around the corner like he was going to chase after me. And I went through the neighborhood to get away from Russell Roberts and was arrested by 11 Avondale police officers, which said that they didn't have any body cameras on, which if you go to my earlier videos, in November of 2017, the officer that was harassing me in the QT store, I clearly have video of her wearing a body camera. They told me that none of the officers wear body cameras or were wearing body cameras more than a year and a half ago. So these guys, what they do is they constantly just lie. That's how they make it through their job. And I'm not saying every police officer, but this department here is the most corrupt police department I've ever heard of, other than the LAPD in like the 90s. So I've been putting out a lot of good information. A lot of dots have been connected. A lot of people have been called out. And it seems to me that they are being paid very well, or being pushed by somebody that's very powerful, saying, figure out a way to get this guy to go away. They already convicted me of a crime I didn't commit, and now I'm on probation, which I shouldn't be. And I'm trying to get the hell out of Arizona to get away from Maricopa County, the most corrupt county in the United States that has the highest incarceration rate for drug use, opiates. How do you think they pulled that off? How do you think they pulled that off? This is probably one of the ways they did it. And there's so many people probably sitting in jail, dead, in mental facilities, on whatever prescription drugs that they shouldn't be because they were drugged, they were tricked, they were buying one thing and when they thought it was another thing. This is exactly what has been going on with me since right after I was convicted. As soon as they convicted me, that's what started happening. These vapes, these jewel pods did not have a nicotine effect anymore. I started getting hyper, started getting dry lips, I started getting agitated. I couldn't sleep at night. I'd go to a different store that they didn't uh, that I didn't usually go to in my normal routine, way out of my way, and I'd ask for the seventh pack back, and the guy would reach up back to the seventh one, and then I'd get those, and they'd be normal again. But as soon as I go to the convenience store right here, QT Quick Trip, right next to my house, and get a pack of these, same effect. So somebody's commenting here, they think nothing personal, just greed. It's very personal, and the people that are doing this are going to get caught. Um, I don't know how, but you're going to get caught. I get these covert messages from the people that harass me. I also get covert messages from the people that are looking out for me. And I've proven that to myself by some of the messages being told to me, and then the next thing I know, the thing they told to me happens. Or they tell me to look out for something, and I look out for whatever that is, and I dodge that bullet. So there's a fight going on. It's like an invisible war. And these people want to do anything they can to make you look like you are not credible. They want to make it look like what I'm talking about is because of drug use. They want me to just look like a terrible person, and then they can say, "Oh well, look at there, look at he was on drugs," when the reality is something I'm paying my hard-earned money for that's supposed to have nicotine in it only tests positive for methamphetamine, right here, okay, and PCP. Oh, I'm sorry, PPX. PPX. What is PPX? Okay, 2-MET is methamphetamine. The second one, okay, I read the second one wrong. PPX. Well, let's just go ahead and look that up on the chart here. And what is PPX? PPX is propoxyphene. Propoxyphene. Propox. I have no idea what that is. That must be some kind of prescription drug. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. So that's where I'm at. So this has been being put in my system for at least a month now, with maybe 4 days in between, a couple times. Am I angry? Yeah, I'm very, well, one, I'm disappointed that the people that we're supposed to trust to protect us, that we're supposed to have faith in having safety from them, call 911 to have, and you know what, okay, I'm pointing fingers. I'm pointing fingers, but I know that some of the police are involved in this. The last time I went to go get a pack of these, cop followed me in, almost rear-ended me, and then came into the store real quick, stood behind me, gave the guy a little hand signal. The guy went to get one of the packs, grabbed like the second one to make sure that he gave me the right one, and and then that had the same effect. This has gotta be deep state, CIA. This has got to be some kind of intel agency, some kind of shadow agency that does this, that just operates outside of the law, and they've got 6 ways from Sunday to ruin your life. And if they can't find anything on you, they will create something on you to discredit what you're saying, discredit your journalism, discredit your good name. And I'm so sick of it. I am so sick of this. How can you do this to somebody? Probably because you know that if I keep up with my journalism, if people like Kevin Shipp keeps up with his journalism, Bill Binney keeps doing shows, um, these intel whistleblowers that are talking about this and they're making sense, they're making progress, and they are making sense and getting to the bottom of this, like getting closer to declassifying the FISA court, and then going to be able to testify once the FISA court is declassified and help put people away in prison that have done this to people that are responsible for murders, incarcerations, hospital kidnappings, basically putting somebody into a mental facility after conducting these experiments, this psychological torture on them, and then saying, oh, they went mad, they went crazy, they need to go in the padded room. Putting people on psychotropic and SSRI drugs for profit, billions and billions and billions of dollars are being made off of people doing this. And the more that I make sense and the more that I put out there, the more they come after me. They call it magic. And I'm tired of their magic. So again, go back to my last video. Let's see. Yeah, this one's already over 30 minutes long. Go back to my last video and watch the process of me conducting this drug test. Okay? And again, right there, oh, yeah, it tested positive for methamphetamines and some other drug that I can't even pronounce, that I don't know what it is. All right, so I can't touch these vapes anymore. I spent $15 a pack on these. I spent $43 on this testing kit. I think it was completely worth it, even though I don't have that much money right now, but I got some irrefutable evidence. Now, I need to send this into a lab to have it verified, which I think we all know what happens when you send things through the mail or into a lab, but I'm still going to send it and see if their results are contradictory of what it says right here, that I clearly recorded the process on video and showed everybody here and talked about the process that I went through. So you see my eyes right now? I said this at the beginning of at the broadcast, but my eyes were actually starting to look a lot better. They were clearing up. I didn't have the dark circles or the dark lines underneath my eyes. And after the last 3 days, last 4 days, doing this estate sale, I've been, um, I've been not nervous, but just a lot of anxiety going through a lot of the things that I'm going through. The closer I get to proving this, and I've been vaping a lot more. I've had a terrible time sleeping. I've had ridiculous dreams over the last month, and maybe it has something to do with this. But these dreams seem very specific, like they are engineered. Lavender department that's been part of the organized stalking her owner. Can I go to Goodyear? Do I call the FBI, who's hung up on me several times? Do I call who do you call? Who do you call when I on video and show positive test results for this right out of the vape pod. It's the most helpless feeling I've ever had. There's no one to call. The only thing I can do is hope and pray that QAnon is a real thing, that there are people in the NSA that are actually watching these videos, recording these videos. Well, I know that everything is recorded. It's going to the NSA facilities in at Fort Meade, Maryland, and yeah, excuse me, in Utah. And I can only hope that the white hats who are fighting the black hats, if you don't know what that is, just Google white hats versus black hats. It's the basically the Q team and all of the good guys battling against the psychopathic narcissists that will do anything to win, destroy someone's life, take their kids from them, murder them, whatever. And I don't think there's any issue in believing that that would happen to me after a lot of the journalism that I've done and talked about some of the people that I've talked about with child trafficking. If these people get arrested and convicted for child trafficking, they'll most likely die in prison. So that's what they want to. It's what they want to happen to us, who's putting out this information. So please, good guys out there that have been helping me, that have been sending me some of these covert messages, please hurry. Please have somebody protect my house. Please help me through this. I gave a 30-day notice to get out of this house because I just can't afford it anymore. I should not have spent the money on this stuff, but it turns out I should have. Now that I have this proof, I had to do this to show what was going on. I could have came up with nothing, and I was kind of hoping that, but I came up with two positives here. So I need some help. I'm trying to get out of Arizona, get to a safer place. I don't know if there's any such thing as that, but excuse me. I've talked to the probation officer, told him I want to move. He said, okay, well, you just fill out paperwork with me and then it'll take 2 to 3 months. I'm like, 2 to 3 months? Why would it take 2 to 3 months for me to go through a probation request to move out of state? I have a piece of property. I have a place to go. I have a business still. By me moving, I won't have any bills. I'll have maybe maximum $200 to $300 in bills a month, minus my car insurance and gas, groceries. As far as the property goes, maximum two to 300. Probably not even that. Almost nothing. I will be able to catch up, be able to for a long time on my own, taking care of kids, running this house, paying the bills, running the business, being raped, stalked, harassed, technology being used on me that nobody would even believe. All I want to do is live my life, but I'm not going to just shut up because this was done to me for years. Somebody needs to pay for this. So who knows how long I have to go through this. I'm going to just go ahead and lay down and try to go to sleep. Try to get some rest. I have so much to do. I have so much to do, but I have to try to let my body heal from the shit they put in me. And just try to quit this vaping, period. Just get over nicotine. I've heard that it's harder to do than heroin, which I have no idea what it's like getting off of that. But I watched my son go through withdrawals from fentanyl, and that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Two times. I've never seen anybody like that ever in my life. I've seen some really crazy shit in my life. I've seen some people go through some stuff, but I've never seen anything like that. So I'm really hoping that I don't have to go through something like that with this, um, but I have to. And it's part of the reason my voice sounds like this too now. Now that I realized somebody was talking about uh, when I was singing, they're like, "Oh, you sound like Joe Cocker." No, I don't drink coffee. Oh, there's a mosquito flying around right here. Anyway, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke weed. I drink water and eat food and nicotine. That's it. Literally. That's the only thing that I put in my body. So now it looks like I have no choice but to stop using the nicotine, go through whatever withdrawals, excuse me, go through whatever. Hopefully, there hasn't been enough in there to get me completely addicted to this, and I'll be able to join. I keep hearing in August that something huge is going to happen. It has to. Something has to happen soon. I can't do this when I go to the store and buy something that's packaged and it gets drugged. Um, there's no fighting back. All right. Well, I've been on here for 43 minutes. A lot of people. I'm starting to ramble about stuff. I'm starting to actually get tired. Ow! Just got chalked in my leg. Um, Thankfully, more and more people that are credible people that have hundreds of thousands of followers on their YouTube channel, people that are getting better ratings than the mainstream news, are coming out and admitting that they are a targeted individual, that they deal with all the stuff that I've been talking about for a long time. Richie from Boston, I don't know if anybody listens to Richie from Boston, but he has a great YouTube channel and he talks about a lot of truths. And he just made a video a few days ago where he told everybody, all right, everybody, I'm coming out and I'm admitting that I'm actually a targeted individual. Yeah, right there. Somebody just commented. Richie just did an gang stalking video. Somebody says, yes, Richie's my bro. That guy's awesome. That guy's awesome. Wait, did I just see Lionel Harris on here? Oh, no. Okay. It says TJ Antipus. It looked like Lionel Harris's avatar right there. If you guys don't know who Lionel Harris is, that guy's helped turn my day around with his comedy, man. He is hilarious. Uh, let's see. Somebody here says RFB confirmed shill limited hangout. You know, it seems like everybody's confirmed shill limited hangout. Who do you trust? I don't know. He's got a lot of good information, but who knows? Who knows? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go now. I appreciate everybody showing up. I had to do this video for posterity again, for the future. If they try to say something, I have some irrefutable evidence that I tested these jewels and they came up positive for two different things. Right there. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now and try to think about what I need to do for my next step. All right, everybody, have a good afternoon. Thanks again. Talk to you later.